what's up?
Hello, Marcus. How are you?
Really good, thanks. Fun
Very
to be
good.
here. And you?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good. I think I was. I think I was born tired anyway. So,
Oh, no way. Sign of
how
the
you?
time.
Just crazy, crazy week. Anyway, so how is everything with you? Busy days as well, promoting the debut album.
Yeah, it feels like it's a weirdly busy time this part of the year always because it feels like everybody gets back from their summer holidays and is like, oh, there's this much of like this amount of work to do. And yeah, the album is coming really, really soon, like surprisingly. So now we have to catch up with everything.
Yeah, and before we talk about Innerdeeps, for those who don't know, who Royal Sorrow is. Who are Royal Sorrow?
Yeah, we're a new Finnish metal band. We call ourselves alternative metal, I guess, but we have a fun history. We're a group of friends from since way back, since we were kids, and we've been playing together always. A couple of years ago, we signed with InsideOutMusic and got to venture towards, I guess, a mindset of like, okay, what are we? What kind of music do we want to put out there? And ended up with the band called Royal Sorrow, where the whole point is to just put out to the world the music that we feel is most like us and where our influences meet and what excites us the most.
So, what are your influences? What bands do you listen when you were younger and that made you want to be a musician?
Yeah, I feel like each of our members has listened to a huge variety of music from all genres, pretty much. I think when it comes to wanting to be a musician and being in a band, metal and heavier rock music has always been one of the bigger influences, I guess, just because bands are like relevant in that area overall. But we've been listening to classical and jazz and pop and all that kind of things. Uh, People say that the bands that you listen to when you're like 12 years old or something are the most influential in your life. And pretty much for all of us, I think that's when we listen to mostly metal bands like Catatonia and Tesseract, Periphery, even Dream Theater, stuff like that. Ended up being like laying the foundation for all of us. But I'd say we take influence from well, everywhere.
Yeah. One of the things about you guys was you guys releasing single after single. I mean, you almost gave out the whole record in
Yeah,
singles, like five, six songs, something like that. And is the new trend in a way for bands to put themselves out there. It's to release like individual songs, and then at the end you got an album anyway, and if fans buy it, cool. But it's the single format that you think it's the best route to go for a newer band.
yeah, I think it's an interesting modern, well, strategy, you'd say. Especially for us as a new band who don't have anything out. I think it's especially important to just start to put out the material and people, I guess it's easier to jump abroad and like just to tell everybody who we are, just to put out music out there. We'll see if it's different with the following records when it's like, oh, okay, they already have music. We get what kind of band this is, but it's been such an exciting time to kind of keep the whole thing going. It feels like something new and exciting is happening more often when you put out new singles instead of just holding it
Yeah.
until you like release the entire record at once.
Yeah, because I mean the first single was last year that was out. So I mean you got I remember listening to the first single, and I knew nothing about the band. I knew you guys were playing with Lepros anyway when they announced the tour, and you guys were, on the European tour. We'll talk about it in a bit, but I remember the name somehow, and I was thinking, where are these guys? Where is the album? And then nothing, just that song, and then
Exactly.
I was like in anticipation, okay, what are they going to put next? And I had doubts, honestly, if you guys were going to put an album, if it was going to be a new thing where it's just, one song at a time and we'll see what happens. And, you know, after realizing that you guys were actually releasing an album, I was very excited and listening to it. It's metal, prog, it's diverse, it's a mix of influences there, but it's very unique at the same time. You guys have high expectations for it.
That's really good to hear. And it's always super fun to hear from an outside perspective on how people see the music as well. But yeah, it was exciting for us as well because we didn't have an entire album planned or ready in our minds when we released the first single. We knew we wanted to put an album out there, but the plan was open at the time when the band was I guess released or announced like that with the first single. So it's been a fun development.
Yeah, and listening to the singles, I know Metrograve is one of the staples, even when you guys play live now. Obviously, you just have an album, you just have 10 songs, but you've been playing the singles. But Samsara, for me, it's the highlight of the records. As a song, it's the melody, everything is very addictive on that song. I really like it. It's, I listen to it, I just go back to that song over and over again. I think this is like a really, really great song. When you write, you realize, obviously you write music for yourselves, it's, you enjoy it, but do you realize how good that song particularly is? I'm not sure if it's your favorite or if you have any, but for me, Samsara, it's the highlight of the record.
That's so nice to hear. Thanks. And it's been really interesting to see how it feels like every new song is somebody's favorite at the time. And that's really rewarding because we definitely try to, I mean, yeah, put out as good of music as we're possibly able to do, like the best songs that we can. But at the same time, we try to do not the same thing all over again with each song. We try to put some new things out there. And it's fun you mentioned live because Samsara in particular was selected to the album, especially as a thing where we're like, this is going to be so much fun to play live. Like, there are songs that have amazing moments that we're really looking forward to, but it felt like Samsara in particular was like, this whole song will be really fun to play live, so we have to include it. You usually feel when something clicks with the song, I'd say. I wouldn't say that we're like, yeah, we know this is the best song ever when we write things, but most often you realize when you've hit something nice and should keep pursuing it.
Yeah. And, out of the singles and listening to the record, another highlight for me was Looking Glass. It's a great song. I really, really like it. I mean, the whole record is very cohesive. It's very good. But Looking Glass, for me, it's another song that stood out for me in the record. What is the song about?
It's one of the more, I'd say, story-driven songs on the record. Um, the whole record in general is quite introspective. We deal with different thoughts, maybe things that bother us either individually or that we deal as human beings. That song in particular, written by Janne, our drummer, is I'd say the feeling of losing something important in your life. Maybe it's a person or maybe something different, and how you deal with that and how the times change and you have to adapt. It's like accepting that sometimes a feeling of grief washes over you and you just have to like let it come and I guess wash over you. There's nothing you can do about it, but still finding beauty in even those kind of moments and yeah, somehow knowing that you'll end up on the other side either way.
Cool. And the record itself, it's, everybody in the band contributes to the songwriting. You guys work together when you're writing the songs?
Yeah, that's the fun part about having done this together longer than Royal Sorrow has been existing. we've over the years honed in on the way that we like to write music, and currently our ideal way is that each one of our members writes songs, does the first demos themselves, to a point where they're happy to share it with the other band members. Like, hey, here's a concept where you can hear what I hear in my head, and from there on, we work on it together, and that's a nice way of getting many song demos and like ideas out there, without investing the entire band's time, without knowing whether that song's going to be, well, become anything other than demo. But especially in a point where we're feeling like there's something happening here, we start working on it together, and usually lyrics and arrangements and whatever, that's the thing where we really put our times and like heads together to work on it.
Cool. And you guys played the first show outside of Finland in the UK in a festival. How did that show go for you guys?
It was amazing. Thanks for asking. Such fun times, and it's, I don't want to sound cynical, but it's always a fun feeling of like seeing how different playing outside of Finland can be. The festival itself, Arctangent, had an amazing atmosphere, and I felt like it has to be a feeling in the festival itself where people come there expecting to discover new bands and a feeling of love that they want to share. And on the stage, it was amazing. It felt like there were smiles all around, and everybody was super accepting and like just taking it all in. It was really fun.
Yeah, and I mentioned the tour you guys are going to do with Lepers. For obviously you're a support band, so you'll play probably half an hour or something like that. So the set list wise, you guys are going to focus on the main singles to play them live. Do you have any idea what's going to happen on that tour? Because you guys are playing Portugal, by the way, a couple shows here, so looking forward to that as well. So what can we expect from Royal Sorrow live?
Yeah, we're so looking forward to touring and Portugal as well. We've talked about this, and for sure we're going to have a short set, shorter than we'd maybe like, in terms of like it's fun to play all the songs that we can, but at the same time, it's definitely the best thing for us right now to start with not like completely exhausting ourselves on our first tour. So if it's half an hour, probably is, that's going to be perfect for us. We've talked about maybe even like not keeping the same exact set on all of the nights, so that we don't have like some songs that get neglected when we would like to play longer sets. So we might like have a couple of songs in and out of rotation depending on the night, but for sure we'll have all the most important singles there that you're gonna hear.
Cool. And when you guys did this album Innerdeeps, is there any songs left over, or did you just record these 10 ideas that you had? How did that work? Was just those 10, or you guys have more in the oven, so to say?
Yeah, in terms of what we recorded in the studio, we don't have anything else left. But as I said, we developed a huge amount of demos and song ideas that some of them were developed like quite to a point where they sound like full songs. And at the time when we were like picking the songs to be on the record, we didn't want the mindset to put everything that we have there. We wanted to like think of the album at what makes sense. So it meant that some of the songs that we liked had to be left out, and maybe we'll use them later, maybe not, we'll see. But there are definitely a ton of songs that we have, and I'm looking forward to what happens with them.
Yeah. And this tour, is going to be like a long tour for you guys. For next year, what are the plans? Keep touring, or you think making more music will be more important? Because this is going to be a very long tour. In a sense, I was seeing there's a lot of dates. So would it make sense to do another tour after, or make more music?
I don't think those things have to cancel each other out necessarily. Definitely, we have plans of like we have to gig as much as we can, but at the same time we have to start recording some new music and making some new music. So I don't know if it makes sense to value one over the other, but the plan is definitely to end up on some really cool gigs and write music at the same time. Maybe it doesn't mean that we're writing as we are on the gig or the tour, but yeah, at like I don't know, alternating times, we'll do both.
Well, I guess it depends if you get, a good offer to tour and, as a support band, if because things can happen in an instance, if all of a sudden a tour for next year, someone rings and says, we have this opportunity. I mean, you probably will have to go on the road again. So,
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of fun to not be able to know anything or everything beforehand. So it's nice to like keep some of the options open and be able to look at the different situations that we might end up in.
yeah. And the festivals next year, is that an option for you guys as well, obviously, I guess?
Yeah, for sure.
So everybody has to start annoying you guys to play live.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully so.
Are you guys going to do any more videos, any more singles, or the ones that have been out are the last ones, and that's it? Is there any plans for another music video or something like that?
Yes, I think I can gladly say that we have one more single coming out before for the record. And as we have done with the previous singles, we've fallen in love with making a cool music video for each one of them. And that's the plan for this one as well.
One of the things about you guys know how to use social media. At least you're active enough, promoting the stuff you do.
Yeah.
It's very important to. I'm not sure if there is a right way of doing it. I know there's algorithms, and I mean you can read, but next week, the following week, the algorithm has changed again. I don't know. So,
Exactly.
what is your approach when it comes to social media? It's just to put out as much as possible, or like good quality stuff. Obviously, not just a picture of you over a bridge or something like that.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting times. And as you said, there's so much change happening all of the time. To an extent where I don't think it makes sense to try to understand the algorithm fully at all times. Because you'll know the depths of it for 2 weeks and then it changes. So what we've done is we try definitely not to like post just for the sake of posting and some bullshit, but like try to keep the quality to an extent. But at the same time, if you like gatekeep your things and like, oh, this is not good enough, you end up not even discovering what's the thing that talks to your fans or like what feels right to you. So our approach has been to keep the standards high, but not too high in an extent where we're learning about our fans and ourselves at the same time.
Do you guys get, when you do the playthrough videos, I've seen the playthrough videos and I've seen one where you guys do the, slowly build up to the chorus of the song. You show one part and the harmony and
Yeah.
you stack that. I think that was a very interesting way of doing it. Did you guys realize what works best after, you post it and see like, maybe this video where you do the harmonies worked quite well, so maybe you should try to do something more like that? You guys realize what actually works and what doesn't?
Yeah, that's really interesting. We definitely try to, I wouldn't say analyze, but see what speaks to the people and like what do the fans like. And definitely with that video in particular, it felt like a lot of people were interested in it. So definitely the reaction is, okay, we'll do more of these in the future as well.
So look forward to see more of those in the future.
Yeah.
Right, Marcus, I'll see you in Portugal with Lepros. Is there any other bands? This is might be a dream gig for a dream tour for a new band, but is there any other bands in particular? You mentioned some like Periphery and like Dream Theater, but outside of that, is there like a band that you would like to go on tour with that you think would make sense for Royal Sorrow to tour with?
Yeah, it's fun that you say that because we have to think about these things. I feel like Vola would be amazing. And at the same time, with like a strategy mindset, it would make sense as well. I had the nice opportunity of meeting the guys last fall, and they were such amazing people that I feel like knowing that they are nice people to hang out with, that's a really important part as well. So that's maybe on the top of my list.
Cool. And they're a great band. They actually played here in the summer in a festival. And, yeah, they're amazing, amazing band. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think would make sense. That universe of like proggish bands, I think it's what fits best. Do you see yourselves changing musically, or you feel confidence with what you're doing with the Royal Sorrow?
I don't feel like we're gonna change for the sake of changing, but I feel like we are really keen on trying to discover more and more about ourselves and us as music writers. So if we discover something new that we like, we are open to doing it. We're not like trying to keep it as the thing that we've now founded with the first record. So definitely you can expect some changes, but we'll see.
I normally ask this to bands, is there any boundaries that you shouldn't cross in this type of music?
I feel like the best part of proggish metal or like this sort of weird thing that we're doing is that there are so little boundaries. I wouldn't have I wouldn't say that we have discussed about setting any boundaries necessarily. Of course, we want to like have things make sense. So maybe if there's something that's completely just like, okay, what is this? I didn't sign up for this. Maybe that's not. Maybe it's more like artistic. If it just ruins the vibe, maybe that's a boundary that we have to set.
Yeah, well, let's not, write a song in a crazy tempo just for the sake of crazy
Yeah,
tempo and breakdown changes and stuff like that. I know,
exactly.
I know some bands do that just for the sake. Why don't we do? And I'm like, what's the fucking purpose of it? Just
Yeah, I think we have done like demos in the past where it's like I had a weird feeling of like wanting to try out something, but anytime you like try to incorporate that in your own artistic whole, it just like it usually weird stuff starts happening. So maybe it doesn't make sense.
Right, Marcus, thank you much for your time. All the best for Royal Sorrow. I'll see you in Lisbon. I'll be there in the pit taking photos as well. So,
Awesome.
I'll be sure to say hello before the show or something if I see you guys outside or something. So I'll see you in Lisbon and thank you much for your
Awesome.
time. All the best and see you in November. I think it's November. I think this.
Yes, it's November. Looking forward to it. Thanks for your
All
time as
right. Thank you
well.
very much. Have a great day and see you
Take
soon. All
care.
right. Thank you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.